Okay, sanitary sewer. Really not a whole lot there in sanitary sewer. Lift station upgrade, routine sewer cleaning, public works capital fund. Doesn't say anything about sewer plant because we were supposed to do that yet this spring. Streets. Does not have much in there about streets either. It would say we would try to do something with that 3rd Street sidewalk there, streetscape between Kathy's down to the laundromat corner. That number, though, we haven't. The number is just really really rough at not having even really defined what the project would be.
How will we determine that?
I think we're just going to get together as a group and talk through some options out there, and show everybody what the deal is out there, because there's some real problems to try to address.
But we definitely have to do something.
Yep, I think so. You know, that sidewalk is certainly in need of attention. This does have a little asphalt or curb and gutter project in it, where it says $50,000, and we have that amount of funds in the street fund, if that's what you would want to do. Jack has talked, though, about postponing another year, doing a larger project later on. So,
What a good recommendation.
and it's going to get zapped out of there. We'll just continue to set aside funds for the next project then. It does still have some crack sealing in it, where we would still use Lake City's machine to crack seal. Jack?
It just never gets, with the projects like list, I don't get to the top of the list very much at all.
Do it.
I'm going to try to get a price for the pothole patcher out of Fort Dodge. And do some pothole patching on some streets. It's so much a ton. He does it for the county roads wherever. You just mark whatever and he charges you by the ton.
What is it, just a cold mix he puts in there?
No, it's a hot oil and then he blows chips in it and then he puts oil over it. It's a...
It ain't somewhere you hit it with a plow and pops it right back?
No, they put it on in May or June so they can work in and...
So we're under obligations that we gotta spend this money in certain times since this road use tax, or?
No, because what we do, if we don't expend any of that money, we roll it into that street capital fund, and at some point we spend it on a street project. So we're still really good about that. Only use our road use tax for street related stuff, other than to pay half of Jack's house.
Yeah, I'd like to do a little more thinking on it. I'm not gonna say kick it out of there, but I'll be honest with you, I think we probably could make it another year pretty easily without a bunch of maintenance. And that's one more year we can save that money. But the second I say that, the transmission goes out on it, and June 2nd, Jack's gonna be really mad at me.
No, you just paid milk. That won't happen.
I don't think so either, and I mean, if you look at Wall Lakes, theirs is twice as old as ours, at least. I have a backhoe that's about 30 years old, it's a case with that same thing, and it's still going. So, I think it's not a big risk.
And I certainly understand. The only thing I would pitch to you is kind of the economics of where the city's a little bit different because we get that government price.
And I would kind of like to see, I don't even know how we find out what they think the trading difference would be between this year and next year.
Oh, we can.
How much would it cost us to keep it?
Yeah, what is that?
That's why I'm saying don't kick it out, because if it comes back and you tell me that my trade next year costs us $10,000 more, trading value, well then, it probably does make sense.
In water, really not too much there either. 10,000 to the capital fund. This has that Sac Beach water system in. $40,000 is paid for by debt, and valve replacement, getting some additional valves out there and replacing some of the others.
Jack, what it cost? Didn't we go down and put a shut-off in somewhere here a while back?
We just did some on Main Street.
What did that cost? Because we can't shut parts in
We
the
can't
town.
shut off any part in this whole town. Our valves are that bad.
The ones we have just don't work, or,
They're 50 years old.
so to put one new one in, what would that cost?
Oh, it costs you $500 more than what you would do to buy the parts and install one yourself. But they don't have to shut any water off.
He does it under pressure, what was
Right.
that?
I think it's right at 2100, 2500, I think, maybe.
But that's something that would make a difference.
I got plans where I'm gonna put about 3 or 4 of them this summer.
This would call for 4 of them at about $3,000 a piece.
But they've been in the budget for years, we've never done it.
Time.
Well, we've done some.
We did one here south on South Washington one time, wasn't it?
We did.
Under pressure?
We did 2 on Main Street, that come out of that budget. Or by Kathy's, and one over by Charlie's.
There's one on Crescent Park.
You ought to have it. It's a shame you shut the whole town down for one.
It's not fun.
No. So they had that water leak on 2nd Street, and, you know, really this whole quarter section of town is off because of that. Well, anything else that you want to see in year 1? Anything that we didn't have? Well, I guess the one thing that I didn't put anything in year 1 would be dealing with radios. You know, if you want to do some radios now, we certainly can. In year 2, it said fire department was 1.
Administration's in here too.
Water's
Yep,
two.
the administration was 1. Sewer was 3.
Are we really sure right now what they're gonna make us at?
Pardon me?
Are we really sure that we buy something now, and when this thing all changes, that it's really gonna be right?
Yes.
Okay.
Would it be something in the year where there might be possible grants that come up for it too?
You know, whenever it gets to be a mandate that everybody's going to do it, there's not going to be any grant funding.
Maybe we should think about one couple this
Well,
year, so we don't have it all next year.
That's what I'm thinking, just tie a little money and start an account for that, and that would
I think we need to get total
Yeah,
from A
but
to B.
total dollar.
This is one, 10,
And they're all the $700,
about 7.
would be $3,500 this year.
That's what I'd say.
See
What do you think,
we
Jim?
get in.
Yeah.
Jerry, what's your thought?
It's pay me now, pay me later.
Well-
We'll probably get more expensive next
Well, that's what I'm
year.
saying.
The next year it might be $800.
Well, more likely, if they become mandated, you know what they're gonna do, they're gonna go up, because they know, they've got you,
Over a barrel.
they got you.
They know the guys now. If we buy him, if we buy some now, he's got a program with low frequencies plus the units.
Probably don't want to think where you get a better deal than what you buy. Comparing like buying 701.
But we're not gonna get him from L&M before he goes out of business, or
That's at the end of the month.
so I don't know for that.
No, I don't know what we're going to do for a radio guy.
They tell me that Ben Carroll was it. Barry Ziggy works for him.
Yeah, I've heard that there's.
I tried to get Ziggy to start a business, told him, well, then we can find you a garage, and you can do that. He don't want nothing to do with that. It's a real opportunity for somebody to fix that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Anything in subsequent years that caught your attention at all?
He is the same.
What's the language I think of the mini golf carpet? It just seems like, wow, we just did that.
But we figured 5 years, I think.
It's been 5 years already?
That will be by the time this happens,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
It gets a lot of traffic too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's, you know, something that needs to be done. We need to keep real good appearance down there.
That's, yeah,
And,
that's half of it.
and it's pretty expensive to do that. It's very, very time
Well,
consuming.
you know, my only comment, and I'm just saying that if we care about what it looks like down there is far too often garbage, debris, and stuff down there on that mini golf that needs to be kept up. You know, I mean, I think that looks just as bad as a little wear and tear on the carpet, so if we could just, you know, if we are really gonna focus on that, which I really think we should,
I guess I'm somewhat surprised because they clean that thing off
I
before the day starts every day, but.
I go down there a lot, and if I see it, I'll certainly say something to you. And I bet the roof
I
will
just
have somebody out
generally pick
there
it
picking
up,
it up.
but,
Yeah, you will.
I mean, we get down there, not a ton, but it seems like every time I'm there, there's, something that gets up by, some of those clumps of, like little bush things, or it's down in the little empty, where the water's supposed to be places and
Mhm,
stuff, but there's always something. I know it's hard to keep up when they've got things to do, but,
I think we clean that in the morning,
They do.
and blow it off, we blow it off in the morning.
That's one of our
And chores.
part-time, lesser part-time gals, that's her main responsibility. is
Okay.
She goes down there and
maybe
gets
it's just
everything.
through the course of the day that it gets.
Oh, I'm sure that happens.
So people that throw that trash.
Because there's a lot of use.
On the lake.
I don't know if you're going to go with the items not included in the plan, I just had a question. Looking at, is that what that guy was complaining about on the bottom, the 10-inch water main around the school, that guy, the pressure up there?
No,
Will that fix it?
That's what I was wondering.
no guarantee.
That's
Water pressure, I think, has everything to do with height of the tower, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
How far away you are, or
But
Yeah,
isn't
line
it higher
house.
than the old tower was?
What's that?
Isn't this one higher than the old tower was?
About 8 or 9 feet, I think.
you'll never communicate saying that.
The old tower was right next to his house,
Yeah.
so.
We
Yeah.
had all the pressure in the world.
Yeah, and volume.
He's
So gravity's not
Yeah.
a factor there.
Okay.
Gets me about once a week and that.
I guess another thing with, and it's just a personal thing behind, like, my house and there with the remote wire for the well,
Mm-hmm.
because if that doesn't get taken down, I'm gonna cut down that walnut tree in my backyard, and I kinda like that tree.
The line's coming down, it's just a,
So don't worry about having to cut down that walnut tree then?
It's probably this spring.
Okay,
The wire's coming down, the posts are coming out.
okay.
It's in the process, but things just didn't quite get there.
on page 30, it's just an FYI for you about our local option sales tax. And where we were standing on funding there. So you can see we still have a substantial balance in local option sales tax. That'll go up a little bit. I think we
dumped a couple things.
might have removed a couple things out of there. And the next page, capital fund balances. Okay, what I would like to do for budget is to get a draft of the budget together that incorporates the items that we just went through. And, what you'll really find is that a lot of the other costs, at least preliminarily, they kind of just slot themselves in, and we take a look at a draft budget pretty easy. I'd like to do it like we did last year, where we would get together with our committees and our department heads and just do more of a committee explanation of the budget. You can have any chance to talk with your department heads about their budget then too. I'd like to look at either just a couple days next week or the week of the 31st, sometime that week, because for Jackson will be gone next week, so we'd have to look at the week of the 31st.
It's fine, doesn't work for me. Because I'm leaving on the 30th and I'll be back until whatever, the 4th or 5th.
You're part of the parks?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can do that the week before then, if we can get a time when you and Jerry are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's the week of Jack?
Not this week, not this upcoming week, but the following week, yeah.
Week of the 31st, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, can't think of, because I think next week's landfill week.
Okay.
I can't think of that.
See what you come up with.
Yep,
Yeah, shoot me an email.
Yeah.
Well, the best way, or just call me.
we'll get something during the evening for you guys. Maybe we can do something during the day, if Jerry and Tim can get together. I think we did that last year. Tony, if you can get together with the mayor sometime, we'll go through the budget. I know you love it.
Draft your
Come on, a little more
babysitter.
enthusiasm here. Come on.
I can babysit.
You're at the same meeting.
Oh, I can babysit.
I can babysit.
Anything else on that portion of the budget?
Did you get any, the money for the mountain thing, that need to be in this, or is that somewhere?
It will show up as an expense, and I guess we never discussed where it would come out of. When we've looked at our community betterment line item before, the one community betterment line item that we have is actually out of electric. But we may want to look at something different, and I'll have a couple options for you together when we get together for committees.
We're going to the city